消えてゆく。
なんじゃこいつは。
死神ちゃん。
名前だ。
Urusei Yatsura continues to be just a powerhouse and a absolutely enjoyable anime. Like, I am non-stop laughter, and my enjoyability of this show so far is just next level. And what I'm about to say following this statement, you're gonna be like, yeah, Dom, well, duh, bro. But the reason I think I'm enjoying this anime so much so far is for a couple of reasons, and I think the main one though is that it harkens back and it calls back to an era where the comedy was just on another level. And like, if I think back to like older anime, right, like, you know, early 90s, late 80s anime, where this kind of stems from, right? If I think back to the, you know, original Dragon Ball, or even like the original Sailor Moon, or even the, you know, the first couple of seasons of, well, I guess all seasons, whatever. But if I think back to like, you know, even the Yu Yu Hakusho, right? If I think back to these older anime, right? They all had this similar kind of like comedy style to them that just absolutely worked. And I think that's part of what I really dig about Urusei Yatsura, is it really has this like old comedy style that like I'm just really digging. I think it really nails it well. The other thing too is it's definitely modern, and the art style is like absolutely just like watercolor. It's gorgeous. The overall aesthetic is just gorgeous. Like, it's beautiful. But it definitely has an 80s vibe to it. And one of the things I noted was like, I love the hair. Like, it has like the 80s hairstyles, the 80s clothing. Like, I absolutely just love that. I think it's just crushing it. So story-wise, silly. Comedy-wise, around every corner. Aesthetically pleasing, right? So it just nails kind of like every single thing that like I just really, really love about the anime so far. Like, everything I love about anime just really kind of nails it. So this episode essentially was kind of centered around two things. One, we had our boy, right? And he was trying to essentially like run away, right? So you know, essentially here, Arturo was trying to run away, and he kind of failed at that. By running away, you know, he has his family, Lum, Shinobu, everybody, you know, asking for him to basically come back. And during this time, he ends up running into a gorgeous shrine maiden named Sakura. She ends up being very sickly, and we find out later on that she is a exorcist, and she notices that Arturo has like a lot of bad juju around him. She forces him to go through an exorcism procedure, which is just absolutely hilarious. And what ended up happening actually is the fact that she ended up passing all her curses onto him and then trying to exorcise that from him, which ended up calling the Grim Effin' Reaper. Hilarious stuff. Then the next subsection of the anime, or the next story, was all about Arturo trying to rid Lum of her powers. With the help of Cherry, he was successful of that, and by doing so, he pissed off Shinobu, he pissed off his family, he pissed off his friends, and then he ended up getting caught up. You know, it ended up working, and then he ended up getting caught anyways, and Lum just let him have it. And in some cases, you know, he had a small win by doing something that he's always wanted to do, but he got pushed back even further because he had Lum basically say she's going to spend her whole life with him. He's basically stuck with her forever. And he pushed Shinobu away because he was trying to protect the ribbons, but he actually pushed her away quite a lot. So overall, this episode of the anime absolutely crushed it, absolutely killed it. I was enjoying every single moment of it. Like, I think this episode was easily a 9 out of 10. There was very little fault this episode, from seeing Sakura and her, not lineage, her learning about Sakura, interesting. Learning about her family with Cherry and her mom, interesting. Seeing everything, the demon extermination, hilarious. Seeing Lum go through trying to be a normal human, hilarious. Seeing the Grim Reaper, hilarious. Like, it just nailed it over and over and over. And I really think that if this keeps this level of hilarity and this level of interest, I think this could be a standout anime of the season that I don't hear a lot of people talking about, but they need to, and they need to start doing that now. So, for those who are familiar with Source or watch the original, let me know how closely this is staying to the original anime and the source material, and let me know if you're enjoying it as much as I am. But without further ado, guys, thank you guys for joining me for another review. This was an awesome week and awesome episode, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.